Good morning, afternoon, evening, and or late night. It is the Matthew Murray Hypercritical podcast. I am back here on a delightful late September evening, approaching early morning with the incomparable Melissa Murray. How are you, Melissa Murray?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on your show again.
Yeah, I was not given an option.
Yes, you were.
We just finished watching Lucy with Scarlett Johansson.
And Morgan Freeman.
And, yes, he played a token role. And it was like, well, are we going to do your podcast now? And I'm like, well, I'm three sheets to the wind and highly opinionated. Sure, let's do it.
And here we are.
Yeah. It is, I'm realizing now that I am in my mental prime. Everyone is like, when are you in your prime? There's your sexual prime, there's your physical prime. Right now, I'm in my mental prime.
Really, this
Not
is it, hey?
maybe not tonight.
Like this is it.
I'm
Okay.
realizing that you as a human being, you have about 20 odd years, 20-ish years window to make good decisions in life.
Mm,
Because as a child, of course, you're not making good decisions. You're a child. You're not expected to make good decisions. You're a
very
child.
true.
I want candy. I
You're
hate
learning.
school. Boys are icky. Whatever. And then you get into your teen years, and your teen years are my parents are horrible. I'm going to save the world. Relationships, go to college. Who am I as a person? All bad decisions.
True.
And then your 20s, going through college, your first marriage, your starter marriage, which you got to get through quickly, your big student loan debt,
Mm,
years spent in an entry level job that
starting to
doesn't
work.
really
Yeah.
works for you, all bad decisions.
Right.
Your 30s, really bad decisions. This is when you opt into I'm sure I can change this person. It'll work if we just try harder. You finally get through that first divorce. You realize what you don't want. You're massively in debt. Your 30s are not prone to a lot of good decisions.
Hmm.
And then in your 40s, you wake up. You realize who you are as a person and what you like and what you don't like. And you get on the second marriage, which is the good marriage, where you realize what you're going to put up with, what you're not going to put up with. But a lot of the 40s is repairing all the damage you've done
Mm.
to your health. Like, oh, I got to start eating right. I got to start taking care of my health. I got to start. And we've both done that.
Yeah.
We made extensive efforts to repair. Damage is a strong word, but we're trying to financially, physically, mentally realize who we are. And now we're making great decisions.
Mm.
We're making really good decisions to set ourselves up for the future. And in your 50s, you're still making some pretty good choices. Around and I'm not in my 50s yet. I know a lot of people think he's got to be in his mid 50s at least. But at least in your 50s, you start thinking, I better start socking away for retirement. I better start saving. I
Yeah.
better
Or you
start.
realize you should have done it 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
and okay, you clean. Yeah, if you didn't smarten up in your 40s, hopefully you smarten up in your 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I got to start thinking about my legacy. I got to
Mm-hmm.
start thinking about retirement. I got to start thinking about all of those things. Like those are the end of your prime earning years.
Yeah.
So that's usually when you're a senior position in a high up. If you're going to be running a company of yourself or high up in a company. And then in your 60s, you start making bad decisions again.
I don't know if it's your 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Closer to 70, I would
Well,
say.
your 60s is where you can really flush things down your toilet in the
Mm.
60s. I'm going to divorce and I'm going to get the third wife,
Mm.
the hot 30 something to my 60 that makes me feel young and I'm just going to find myself, man, and really all I ever wanted to do was like start a bed and breakfast in Venezuela
Mm.
or like move to Vegas. Like the 60s, you still have the potential to make good decisions,
Mm.
but the window to make bad decisions, and by the time you're in your 70s, you're into straight up bad decisions.
Yep.
That's when the scammers are like, "Look, we gotta get a hold of this person and tell them their granddaughter's in jail, or sell them some crypto, or convince them to buy a new bed
Yeah.
or something."
Yeah.
You really only have this 20-year window to clean up all the bad mistakes of your youth
Mm.
and set yourself up. Like, isn't it weird to think we're going to make bad decisions in the future?
Mm.
And we don't think we will. We're like, "Oh, well, not me." It's kinda
Everybody
like,
does.
yeah, but it's like when you were in your 20s and you met someone and you're like, "Yeah, everyone else is divorced, but not me. And this I'm marrying for love, and I'm different, and we're different, and this is gonna be different."
Well, it's just the tables turn.
Yeah, but again, like, there's no foresight, right? So, like, I need to acknowledge now that in my 80s, I'm gonna make some terrible decisions.
Yeah, really bad.
The more decisions I can get done now,
Yeah.
the better off I'm going to be.
Right.
I need the Matthew of 2054
Mm.
needs to trust that the Matthew of 2034, 24, what year is it now? 2024,
24.
34 by 60, the year, the Matthew of 2024
Mhm.
set him up to succeed.
Yeah, but I think once you hit that age, you just don't care. Like, you're kinda like, "Well, I put in my time. I can make my bad decisions," and
Yeah, you do start to feel like I have a right
well, that's the
to
thing.
my bad
If I
decisions.
wanna spend more money than I should on this item, plus get the insurance, plus get the protection plan, plus get this,
Extended
plus get
warranty.
yeah, like, give me it all. Like, if, you get to that age, you're like, "I can do what I want."
Yeah, and you do get defendant of your right to
Uh-huh.
decide. Hey, you can't take my car away. You
Mhm.
can't take my right to vote away. You isn't it weird that the people that vote the most
Mm.
are the oldest
Yeah.
and they have the least and I don't mean to be judgmental to old people because I'm not that old and I don't want
You
to
will be.
paint yes, but I would just rather freely admit now that in my 80s, I'm going to make bad choices
Right.
rather than I don't. I was the guy in his 20s that said, "I'm not going to fall into the same pitfalls everybody is. I'm going to make this good decisions." And now I'm here in my 40s, going, "I'm going to make good decisions. I'm going to set myself up to be successful and my daughter to have what she needs." But I want when I'm in my 80s, I want to be able to go, "Oh, this is when I know I'm going to make bad decisions.
Mm.
What did I write down for myself? What did I like like it's almost like you gotta leave yourself a message in a bottle.
Yeah, you should.
Like,
Don't do these things. Do not buy a timeshare. Do not like, it's like you just need to make a list.
it's the thing is now is I've been thinking about setting up an email address so that I can write emails and send videos
Mm.
so that when I pass away, my daughter has a collection of information for me.
Right.
But I kinda wanna get that going now while I have something worthwhile to say.
Right.
Because now you sit down with your elders and you're like, "Please give me some wisdom.
Mm.
Give me the lessons you've learned as a long living individual." And they just sit down and be like, "Oh, it was way better when I was a kid and everything is terrible now and what's with the gays?" Like all that horrible like what I want is all that knowledge on that wisdom. I don't want
You people want the good stuff.
I want all the good stuff, but I know the good stuff now.
Mm.
Now is when I need to capture the good stuff.
But will it be relevant?
Good point.
That's the thing. It's relevant to you in this time.
Like right now, if I was going to give my 9-year-old daughter a piece of advice,
Mm.
it would be save money.
Right.
Don't overspend.
Right.
But that's only applicable to the financial environment of today.
Current.
Now, it was like it's always been, hey, you should always
It's
save
always a
more than you
good
make.
idea.
But maybe 20 years from now, money as a concept doesn't even exist.
It might not.
Because, like, what's Canada's like in a 40 cajillion, bajillion?
Well, and places already aren't taking cash.
Yeah. So,
So, like,
yeah,
who knows?
that's another thing. We always pay cash. And
Yes.
it's like, hey, if we pay cash, can we get a lower rate?
I was at the
Can we?
grocery store today, and they're all like, they don't even ask how you're paying. They just hit the button for it to come up on the debit machine.
And then when you pull the cash
And
out, they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
oh, what,
every
what?"
time, and it was a younger cashier or is it still called cashier if they're a boy? I don't know. It was a younger.
Cash
It was like
person,
a or not even university, a high school student as my cash person,
cash
a
person,
cash person, and I said, "Oh, can I pay
a
cash?"
transactional
Yeah.
attendant.
"Can I pay cash?" And right away he was like, "Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry. People don't usually do that anymore." And I'm like,
Thanks for pointing that
"Yeah,
out.
I know." But then he did follow it up with, "I think it's a great idea to use cash." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it helps keep you on budget because when you use your card, you just tap, 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 and you have no idea how much you spent." He goes, "Yeah. No, I think that's great. It's just people don't do it anymore." And it's like, "No, they don't, but they should."
So, I mean, I don't want to get into the politics of how a cashless society is another way that the government controls
Oh
us.
god, they just yeah,
But
it's
if there's a piece of advice I would give my daughter is pay cash whenever possible. Save cash.
yes.
But
No credit.
maybe she's listening to this now and
Mm,
I'm dead
mm,
and she has an ancient cellular phone
mm,
that can still play
mm.
files, and she's like, "Oh, this is a recording
It's like
of
a
a."
floppy disk
Yeah, yeah.
almost.
And it's like, "Let's listen to the wisdom of 2024."
Mm,
What's cat?
yeah,
I
exactly.
seem to
What is that?
recall I used to get, like every now and then I'd lose a tooth,
Yeah, and the
and
tooth
they'd
fairy
give me
would
a
leave me
piece of
stuff.
paper with a 5 on it,
Yeah.
and for some reason,
Sometimes in birthday cards,
that
there'd be
piece
that
of
in there.
paper actually, you could trade that piece of paper in for stuff,
Yeah,
but you couldn't just write a number 5 on a piece of paper and
right.
hand it to someone. It had to be a special piece of paper
Mm,
with a so, I mean, the underlying advice of don't spend more than you make, save, be financially responsible, save money,
mhm.
that's still currently
Currently.
inherently good advice
Currently.
that I'd like to impart to her,
Right.
but it needs to be captured now in my 40s
Mm.
before I get to my 80s and be like, "Oh, yeah, we
Before
used
you're a
to."
crazy
Yeah,
person,
when
or
I'm a
you're
crazy
almost there.
person. I I am not I am a crazy. You know what? That and you know what? Crazy has got a lot of social stigma as a phrase.
Mm.
You're not
Yeah,
supposed
you
to
can't
call.
say that now.
Yes, you can here
I'm
on
sorry. I
Hypercritical.
hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
And the thing is, our I'm not. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not normal. We're all not normal. We all have
Mm,
our own thing.
mm.
But I'm a lot further off center. Let's say that way.
Sure.
And my daughter's picking up on that.
Mm.
She's like, "Wow, you don't act, dress, talk like anyone."
Right, when she's a teenager, she's gonna be extremely embarrassed by you.
Yeah, oh, well, she already is.
Yes, that she's getting there.
But again, like, am I?
She does say to me on a regular basis, like, "Why is dad like that?" I'm like,
Come
it's
on,
she
really?
does.
What does she say?
She's like, "Why does dad have to be that way? Why
Why
is
does
dad
dad? You have to
what?"
whisper. It's a
No,
microphone.
but this is her because she whispers because she doesn't wanna hurt your feelings.
While I'm in earshot?
Well, sometimes you're upstairs. You'll say something like you'll try to be funny going up the stairs or something, and she just rolls her eyes and she's like, "Why does dad have to be like that? Why does dad do that?" I'm
Like
like,
what?
"It's just,
Give me
you
an
I
example.
just did. You try to make jokes. You try to make jokes like going up the stairs or whatever. You say something, you do
I
something.
don't try
Okay,
to
well,
make jokes.
whatever.
I make a
Well,
joke. Now, whether the joke lands or
that's
not
the
is
point.
different.
She knows when it's a funny joke and when it's not. And she'll say to me, "Why does dad do that? Or why is dad like that?" And I'm like, "It's just your dad. I cannot," and I literally say to her, "I cannot explain your father. This is just the way he is." Like, there's no use in putting effort into figuring out your dad because that's just dad. Like, that's it. What else am I supposed to say? I
No,
don't know what's
but
wrong with him.
is
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with me.
No, of course not.
But is every relationship like that, or do people like go to bed going, "I don't understand why my husband does that." Like a lot of times, I would think like, "Why is he so into football?" or "Why does he always?"
Yeah, probably. I think there's a big thing of like why, and I think mostly women think, why is that guy dumb? Like, what is wrong
And
with him?
this
Why?
this is poisoned. We we
Mm,
men,
mm,
we we are the victim of our own monster that we've created.
Mm.
This whole women are amazing, women are the greatest thing in the world. All women,
I
and
don't think
now,
guys think that.
yeah, no, but we that was a narrative that we created because we thought, oh, you'll like us
When
more
was
if we just
that?
way back.
Okay, because I'm like,
And
I don't think that's
now you've bought
current.
it
I
because
don't think
like
that's current
I don't
anymore.
think women have ever had a higher opinion of themselves than they do now. Women really have like we are the shit. We are women. Hear us roar. Here we come.
I don't think it's women necessarily as
White women.
people.
Oh,
No,
people.
just people in general.
People in general have a higher opinion of themselves than they ever have.
Yeah, I think they're more entitled now than they've ever been.
That's fair. Well, I don't know if I was like, and again, I bristle at the it's ever been because if I was a nobility, and I believe that I truly owned, I deserve to own people,
Mm.
and I have like 200 serfs working my land.
People still own people. It's just not as black and white as it used to be. It's
Mm,
like, oh, you're my housekeeper. You're my cleaner. You're
okay,
my
there's
whatever.
there still is a system of
You work for
servitude and
me.
indebtitude.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
work for me. Do what I say.
and to be clear, I'm saying women are awesome. Women are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think men or women in general should think higher of themselves than what they are. Like, well,
Yeah,
because
but who determines what each individual person is?
I guess, but like you said that, why is your dad like that? You just can't figure out your dad. It used to be like, oh, men just won't be able to figure out women, and women just won't be able to figure out men. I think people are very easy to figure out.
Yeah, they're all dumb. Simple. Solved. Done.
But I mean, like, you know why I am the way I am. I mean, you can't necessarily explain it to a child.
No, I don't. No, I don't. And I don't put the
This
effort
is not.
into I don't put the effort into trying to figuring it out. I'm just like,
You've given up trying to figure me out.
I don't think it's necessary for me to figure you out. I don't think I'm going to gain anything by figuring you out.
That's fair. That's a good thought.
So why would I put in the energy if it's not going to give me anything?
You've
Like,
certainly figured yourself out lately.
yeah, I've come a long way. I've
You
put in a
have.
lot of self-work.
This is a big day for you. You have brand
Yeah.
new hair.
I do have new hair. I know you guys can't see it, but this was the first time in almost 10 years that I have done anything to my hair. And when I say,
And it's about time because
yeah,
I've been trying to like hint for a while that you
well,
could really
it's
step it up around here.
expensive. It's expensive. And I used to get my hair cut and colored all the time, like back when I owned a business, all the time. And then I got pregnant.
We owned a business.
Sure. I got pregnant and I stopped. I was like, okay, I'm not going to color my hair anymore. I'm not going to do. And then I was like, I had a baby, and then I'm like, you know what? As she got older, I'm like, one day I'll go and get my hair done, and it's just never happened. And then before you know it, hey, it's been 10 years. I haven't had a hairstylist touch my hair. It hasn't been trimmed. It hasn't been cut. It hasn't been colored. It hasn't been shampooed by a professional like in 10 years.
You're a cave woman.
I know. So I was like, you know what? My birthday's coming up. I've got some other stuff coming up. I'm gonna go and I'm going to get my hair done. And I did.
And it looks fantastic.
I thank you. I
You
think it
put
does
you put
too.
a lot by waiting 10 years, you put a
Yeah.
lot into it.
It was almost had a panic attack in the chair because I'm like, you're gonna cut my hair and it's been so long and I don't know, and you're gonna color it and I don't know what it's gonna look like. And what if it, and also without my glasses, I can't see a thing.
Mm.
So I have my glasses off.
So
All I see is a
you can't
blur.
figure me out and you can't see
I
me.
can't see anything. I like it was a blur until she's like, "Okay, put your glasses on." And I put them on and I scared myself because I'm like, "Oh my god." Like I was not expecting, like, I like it. It's good. It's just it's been so long.
So that's a good pro tip to the guys out there. Get a girl that can't see you. It makes it a lot easier.
It really
It
helps.
does. Like
It's one of those things.
it's
It's
always
like,
pitch black,
yeah,
blur.
yeah. But yeah,
It looks fantastic.
thank you. I appreciate that. I feel good. I like it. I don't think I can maintain it because it is expensive to get your hair done.
Mm. But let's get back to my point about how you women have such a high opinion of themselves.
Sure.
and see how you just fed right into that. How you're just, I'm the bomb. I owned a business when we owned a
Oh,
business.
sure. Yeah.
See, again, you're attempting to diminish my accomplishment there.
Okay, and turn the tables, are you not attempting to diminish mine?
I'm just saying you're lucky to have me.
Of
That's
course
all.
I am, darling. You definitely wear the pants in this relationship. You just go out there and make that bread.
I, I have we do have family that say that. They have said to
Oh,
you, well, he's the bread earner,
the
dear. When
breadwinner.
no one ever gets
He's the
paid in
breadwinner.
bread.
No, it's
You
not.
were like on paper, you were the breadwinner for your people, and that's. I mean, I don't want to tangent too much
Well, we can get
conversationally,
into it.
because this is comedic to us. The whole women have a high opinion of themselves, blah blah blah. Melissa holds herself in a high light. There were years of our relationship where Melissa on paper was the quote unquote breadwinner,
Yeah.
where everything was so people are like, "Oh, really, Matthew? You're a comedian and you have a day job and your wife just sits at home eating bonbons and
I
reading
wish.
I'm like,
Mm.
"Yeah, and have you seen what it's done to her arse? It's perfect." No. But like they don't understand the dynamic where if you're relatively new to the podcast or to us as people,
Yeah.
for years
Our relationship started off,
it has gone back and forth.
yeah, with me being the main provider.
Well, we were both working,
We were both
and then
working.
you were working, and then I
Yeah.
was working, and then you were working.
We've taken turns, but it's interesting you bring this up because I do think, and I don't know if it's a generational thing or what, but I do think people are more harsh on females than on the men. Like, they look at it and they're just like, "Oh, you just get to stay at home the whole time," and like, "Oh, your husband's out slaving away,
Oh, they're
making
harsh.
that
Yes,
paycheck."
they're harsher on the quote unquote stay at home mom.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
only that, even when women are parenting the children versus men parenting the children,
Mm.
it's very rare, whether it's a man, a woman, whatever, will go to a woman and say, "You are a fantastic mom." However, if they see a dad out at the playground with the kids, oh my gosh, like, "Oh, you are such a good dad. Look at you here at the playground with your children. Good for you. Oh, you're taking them out for a walk.
But
That's
women
amazing."
get it on the other hand. When a woman is a woman entrepreneur or she runs a business, they do go to look at you. You're running a business. Way to
No, they
go.
don't.
Sure they do.
No, they don't. Because if that woman is also a mother, there's the
Oh yeah.
stigma of
Why aren't you at
you're
home?
running a business, but you have children. Why are you not raising your children? Why are you not taking care of your children? So I think you're wrong in
We're
that
addressing
respect.
social stigmas here on
Yes,
all I'm saying
absolutely.
is if there's one word I would use to describe our relationship,
Mm,
it's partnership.
yeah.
This is very much an exchange of goods and services. No, this, this,
Pretty much.
there is. I'm giving and I'm getting. Like, no, there have been times where your health has been a challenge, and I've had to take care of
Yeah,
the house. There's been times where my health is a challenge, and
yeah.
you've there. It
And you're
has
right.
really gone back and forth.
Between the two of us, we are on the same page. We're supporting each other. We each do what we need to do for our partners and for ourselves. But you're right. Our most of our family does not understand that or respect that.
So when you get back to the whole why is dad like that?
Mm,
The truth is we are in my opinion,
mm,
very uncommon as
yeah.
a relationship.
Yeah, I would say so.
We have gone through more lives,
Mm,
done more things
mhm.
in how many years have we been together?
6.
16. No, our anniversary is coming up here in 2 weeks, and that's going to be our
This is our
14th,
13th.
14th, 13th,
13th.
14th.
We got married in 2011
Yeah.
and it's
The
2024.
13th anniversary
There
starting the
you
14th year. I'm
go.
right. All
Okay.
I'm saying is you're lucky to have me.
Yeah, of course.
And more importantly, you're appreciative of me. And that's good.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's really you know how good you've got it.
Mm.
And hey, if you got to get your hair done every now and then to keep that man beast happy,
Well, as long as you bring home that bread.
your hair looks fantastic.
Thank you. I
Uh,
appreciate that.
and this, I wasn't going to touch on this in the podcast, but this is tricky.
Mm.
We're hitting a point where it's not a competition, but you living healthy, taking care of yourself, working out makes me want to eat healthy, take care of myself, and work out. Because a lot of relationships can have a really negative reaction to that.
Most do.
When one's like, "Oh, you're getting all fit, you're probably prepping to
You're
leave
cheating
me."
on me. Who are
And
you trying to get pretty for?
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, if you weren't pretty, I would I'd go.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like you can view that again, like it's the key is not to be self-centric.
Mm.
You shouldn't view your partner in terms of how does it relate to you. You need to just applaud their efforts as a person.
Well, and be supportive.
Yes,
Like you're don't you want your partner to be happy and healthy and
and
make
bring
them
home that bread.
well, yeah, like you just got to be supportive. There isn't always something behind the scenes or something like devious about that behavior. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure sometimes there are, but you should know your partner and you know.
Speaking of devious behavior,
Oh, yes. What you see?
so I got locked out of my bank account last night.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the time we were at a restaurant you got lost in the bathroom. I'm sorry. I thought that's where you were going with
That
that.
was a perfect tangent to a topical conversation
Okay.
about
We'll
being
get we'll
locked.
get back to
We're
the
not talking
bathroom
about
at another
being locked.
time.
I didn't get lost in the
You
bathroom. It
did.
was a poorly laid out bathroom.
It's fine.
Why do you got to bring that up?
Because that's where I thought you were going. Okay, so locked out of your
I
bank
said
account.
devious behavior.
Well,
What happens in girls' bathrooms that's so devious that
we
you
never
thought
get lost.
devious behavior? This must be a bathroom story.
And we got locked out of your account because
No,
you were
I
doing
no.
devious behavior.
Why would that immediately? Why would you go to that?
That's what I just thought.
Okay,
You got locked, like
I
locked
did not
in,
get
locked.
locked
Okay,
out.
it's
There
fine.
was a second door.
Yeah. I
Okay?
can see how that would be confusing. In the women's bathroom, there's lots of doors. It's stall after stall. Pick a door. Anyway, keep
It's not
going.
like I was there for hours.
No,
But
you.
it's not like I was like, let me out of the bathroom. I can't get out. I was like, huh, this is odd.
Yes,
Oh, here's the door. An extra what? 30 seconds.
it was longer than that, but go ahead.
Anyway, speaking of devious behavior,
Yes, what did you do?
I got locked out of my bank the other day.
And
So
why?
again, going back to cash,
Oh, yes.
we like to take all of our bills out
Yeah,
on one day
yeah,
at the end of the month.
yeah.
We set aside money for groceries, hair,
I'm sure this will be great for
nails,
someone to listen to on your
body
podcast.
sugaring.
Like, oh, they take out the money at the end of the month. I'm going to follow him.
Yeah, just how much money do I give you at the end of the month for beautification? So we got
Not a
nails,
lot.
hair.
No, you don't. That
Yeah,
was this month. I
yeah,
haven't had my hair done in 10 years.
yeah. Anyway, so
So
once
you
I
take out money, and
and
what
give it
did
to
you
you for
do?
your feminine wiles,
Yes, and you do online banking, and
right?
what happened?
So first off, banks do not want to let you have your money.
No,
It is incredibly hard.
they view it as their money.
If you walk into the bank and say, "I want to withdraw $3,000 cash," they'll be like, "And what's it for?"
Yeah,
And it's to the point where I'm saying like terrorist activities and firearms.
it's my money. Give it to me.
Yes, but what happened this time is recently I got a VPN software on my phone and on my laptop
And why did you get that?
because a lot of times I want to watch the Canadian Football League
Mm.
and the local area is locked out
And why would that be?
because they want you to go to the arena.
Right, to pay the money.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to Regina.
Right.
So I want to watch.
Here comes the devious
In
behavior, everybody.
general, no, there's nothing devious about having a VPN.
Mm.
Wanting to have a level of privacy online so that websites and hackers and villains cannot have your IP address, there's nothing nefarious about that at all.
Okay, if you use it for that.
That's exactly why I used it.
Okay.
So I logged into the online banking to do
Mhm.
a bunch of our month end transactions.
Yes.
And while I was at it, I tuned in to the football game because my good personal
Ooh.
friend, Bo Levi Mitchell,
Hey, Bo.
sup, Bo? I know you listen. Me and Bo, we tight. Appreciate that thing they did with me with the hat. That's awesome. Anyway, my good personal friend, Bo Levi
That could
Mitchell.
go so many ways. thing you did with me with the
The
hats.
hat. What the heck?
Instead
Where's
of
your mind going? Why
instead
does
of
everything
two
go back
girls
to
in
a
a cup, we've
bathroom?
got two men in a hat. Don't Google that.
What is wrong with you? Everything goes back to the bathroom with you.
Hey, keep going.
Is it now? Is it happen where like the more you beautify yourself, the dumber you? My hair's pretty now. I can be like that. Anyways,
Uh,
so me and my good personal friend, Boldy by Mitchell, I'm on it now, even though he's not playing for the Stamps anymore. He plays for the Hamilton Times.
I like that.
So I
Hamilton
logged into
Ticats.
I logged into my banking. I'm doing my banking.
Yep.
Typity type. Get money to Melissa for this. Money to Melissa for that.
Sure.
And then I wanted to watch the football game, and so I clicked on the VPN. So as far as
Mm.
RBC was concerned, in 3 seconds I went from sitting in Saskatoon to sitting in England,
Ooh,
and
private jet.
to their to their credit,
Yes,
locked the account out.
smart, because that's what it's for,
Right.
right?
So it's 11 o'clock at night. I got a call to unlock it, but it's 11 at night. You're sleeping. You're already like, I need my beauty sleep. I got to get my hair done. Right.
This doesn't happen without beauty sleep. I'm
Right.
telling you.
And I do want to get to sleep as a topic. Anyway,
Sure.
but so the account locks out. I'm like, well, I have to go to the bank anyway because we
Mm.
go to the bank at the end of the month, pull out a bunch of cash. I'll just do it all in one session.
Yep.
So I got up this morning, went to the bank. Hi, here's my bank card. I need to make some transactions, blah, blah, blah. While I'm here, my online banking is locked out.
Mm.
And I actually, what I did, I put my credit card, I put my client card,
Mm-hmm.
and I put my driver's license
Mm.
because I'm assuming they
They're
would
gonna
need
need
a
to
little bit of extra.
verify
She's like, oh, well, did you call the number? No, I'm here
at the
in the
bank.
bank
It's a separate department.
talking to you with the name tag that says bank.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
So
matter.
here I am with my client card and my driver's license, inputting the PIN into your keypad.
It's a different department.
Could you just click the little checkbox that says unlock? No, I had to call. I had
Mm-hmm.
to sit in their bank.
On the phone with their bank.
So I turned to her and I didn't. Sometimes now she was nice,
Mm.
and it was early in the morning, and you were all like, "I gotta shave my." So I came home,
Mm.
but if she had like sometimes you go to pull your cash out, and it's like, "What is this cash for? Why are you pulling so much out? Do you realize if you get robbed, it's not our responsibility?" I don't like that conversation.
Yeah.
This time I was like, "Hey, I like this
Here's the
large
cash.
pile of cash." She went, "Yes, sir. What denominations would you like that in?"
Right.
Right answer.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to make your life horrible,
Right.
but I was tempted.
Right.
So I was like, well, no, I haven't called the number. I'm here in the bank.
Yeah.
I'm standing in line.
Yeah.
There's now a line forming behind
Right.
me.
Because you're taking too long.
I'll be happy to stand here while you call the bank
Mm.
from the bank
Mm-hmm.
to tell the bank that the bank is calling.
Right.
I was tempted. I was tempted to just stand there and say, okay, I'm going to hold this line because I was on hold for about 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So, because you call in, and when you call in and you log in, because you're flagged for security,
Mm-hmm.
you have to immediately go for security clearance. Sorry, very boring. So I'm yawning.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up, I didn't want to leave the bank just in case an additional verification was required.
Mm-hmm.
But I got them on the phone. I got it unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
But it was killing me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting in your bank,
Right.
and I need to call.
Because it's a different department.
But it doesn't matter.
Well, it does to them.
So yeah, so it's dumb.
Yeah.
Thanks, bank.
When have banks ever not been dumb?
But you are right. I've been hearing a bunch of studies that like just reducing your sleep 10-15%
Mm-hmm.
is like 30 to 40% impairment of your cognitive
Oh,
abilities.
absolutely. Your body needs time to rest and regenerate.
And with you looking so good lately,
Mm.
it is hard to get enough sleep. So it has been. I have noticed like 6 seems to be the magic number.
6 hours
6 hours.
for you?
Yes.
Oh, I need at
12.
least. Well, it depends how you look at it. Like, if you're like, oh, I'll just go to bed and let my body wake up when it wakes up, I would probably sleep a lot longer than 8 hours. But for me, if I get at least 8 hours, I'm fairly functional for the day.
I have noticed in the last 3 months, I have stopped responding to alarms.
Yeah, you don't get up. You have a hard time waking up in the morning
I have a
because
really hard
well,
time.
that's because you go to bed late. And
No,
no, you
I
do.
no, I've noticed consistently. Doesn't matter whether I'm going to bed early, going to bed late, going to bed sober, going to bed hungry, going to bed full. I've I've gotten so good at turning my alarm off in my sleep.
Maybe it's your sleep apnea.
I don't know, have I been snoring a lot lately?
I haven't really noticed because 'cause I'm usually out when I go to bed.
Yeah, you fall asleep quick because
You
you're
you
like,
have been
"Rub
s
my feet."
you have been snoring more than you used to, so
Maybe I should I'll
maybe
bring the machine
yeah,
back out.
maybe you're just not getting enough air, and that's why you're having trouble waking up in the morning.
Well, I have noticed a couple times I've woken up and you are pushing a pillow onto my face.
Yeah, because you're either loud or you're supposed to get out of bed, but you're not.
Yeah, but it's all like, "Oh, I'll get out of bed tomorrow. I got an important meeting," or I got the
Yeah,
gym, blah,
no,
blah, blah."
you just don't.
I just don't.
Nope,
Sleeping is critical.
it is very
You know,
important.
I have reached out on my social media several times
Mhm.
saying, "I will give free advertising
Hmm,
on my podcast."
yeah.
Just and nothing.
No one wants to sponsor your
Nobody no.
podcast. Oh.
Apparently saying, remotely comedic yet demeaning lines about the plight of women
Oh.
is not a marketable
Well,
thing.
as a woman, I will sponsor your podcast.
Oh, great, and what are you gonna never mind. Uh,
A
but
Melissa moment,
yeah,
found on
this
YouTube.
this is the plug spot. So, I'm Melissa Moment, you're approaching your 1000th episode.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
hey? That's not something that started during the pandemic just to have an outlet has now turned into something.
that's funny that I'm thinking about creating an email address
Yeah.
so I can leave wisdom to
Mm.
my daughter, and when you pass, she will have 50 to 80 hours of, "Here's what I bought on Temu today.
And the funny
Here's what I
thing
did
is,
this."
out of all of those videos, where she's gonna get the wisdom from is the
Pineapple.
pineapple cutter video, which is her absolute
She
favorite.
loves watching that. You fail so rarely that an epic fail
It
video
was a
is
good video. Check that one out, you guys.
we've
Pineapple cutter.
we've made the conscious decision as parents not to put her online.
Right.
And that's another thing. Like, are we the smart ones, or are we going to be the one kid that grows up going, "Geez, Dad, I'm not like anyone
Yeah, but
else."
when have we ever been like someone else?
That's fair. This is nothing like anyone else.
Nope.
This has been great.
Yeah.
Folks, this is the Matthew Murray Hypercritical Podcast. We're here more often than ever. Check out uh at a well, because you don't want to say
I know. It's at
at
A.
a Melissa Moment, all one word, MEAMELISSAMOMENT. She's available on Instagram, on
Sure.
YouTube primarily,
Yes.
and check out the new hair.
Yeah. You guys are going to love it. I know I do.
And you find me here, guys. The Christmas comedy season is booking up fast. I've got a few dates left available. I know I still need to update my website, but the quotes are out. So if you are looking for a clean corporate comedian for your Christmas party, please do not hesitate. I do travel. I do jokes. It will be a great time. So book me immediately.
Yes, because he is the breadwinner for this family.
Yes, and this family eats a lot of bread. This is a
Lots of carbs.
carb heavy, carb
Heavy
heavy.
household.
Yes, hypercritical. The Matthew Murray podcast. Everybody have a wonderful night. Bye bye.